Have you ever noticed how a bad habit rarely just starts with some massive failure? Like first you're just walking past it.
Right, yeah, you just sort of glance at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you stop and stand near it, and before you know it, you've pulled up a chair and made yourself totally comfortable.
Completely settled in.
Yeah. So welcome to this deep dive into Psalm 1 from the ESV Bible.
Also known as the way of the righteous and the wicked. It's such a fascinating text.
It really is. And our mission today is to extract the literary and philosophical frameworks this ancient text uses to map out that exact psychology of human behavior.
Yeah, because whether you're just analyzing historical literature or hunting for mental models on how daily habits shape your stability, this text is absolute gold.
Okay, let's unpack this because it doesn't open with a dramatic moral collapse, right? It starts with the subtle progression of daily influence.
It does. The text uses three very specific verbs to describe someone going down the wrong path. Walking in the counsel of the wicked, then standing in the way of sinners, and finally sitting in the seat of scoffers.
Sitting in the seat. Wow.
Yeah, it's entirely about how you passively absorb your environment.
It's honestly like downloading any social media app. First, you're just walking by someone else watching it.
Right, just catching a glimpse over their
Yeah, and then you stand there for a minute, and the next thing you know, you're sitting on the couch for 4 hours just scrolling, totally absorbed.
Hmm.
But why that specific order? Walking, then standing, then sitting.
What's fascinating here is the mechanics of inertia. When you're walking, I mean, you still have momentum, you're moving past the bad counsel.
So you aren't stuck quite yet.
Exactly. Standing means you've halted your forward progress to entertain it. And by the time you're sitting, well, you're entrenched. You've gone from a passerby to a permanent resident in a culture of mockery.
A decay of mobility. I like that.
It really is. So how does the text suggest we combat that passive slide? The alternative it presents isn't just, being good. It requires a massive shift to active effort.
Right, because the text says the righteous person delights in the law of the Lord and meditates on it day and night. But wait, I have to push back here. Meditating day and night sounds completely exhausting.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like is this ancient text literally suggesting someone just sits around reading constantly and ignores their actual life.
It sounds like a monastic retreat, doesn't it? But the ancient concept of meditation used here isn't about sitting silently in a dark room. It actually implies a low, continuous muttering.
Muttering. Wait, really?
Yeah, think of it like a background hum to your daily life. You're chewing on these core truths while you go about your day.
Oh, so you're replacing the passive absorption of the world's counsel with this active, relentless focus on something grounding.
Precisely.
Here's where it gets really interesting. That continuous background hum totally changes the metaphor in the text. It shifts entirely away from human actions into nature.
Right. The person doing this active work is suddenly described as a tree planted by streams of water, yielding fruit, its leaves not withering.
But the wicked are just like chaff that the wind drives away.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's all about intentionality versus reaction. Notice the word planted.
Yeah, someone put it there on purpose.
Exactly. A tree doesn't accidentally grow next to a life-giving stream. It's deliberately placed to draw continuous nourishment. Contrast that with chaff. Do you know what chaff actually is, agricultural-wise?
It's the dusty shell around the grain, right? The stuff you just throw away.
You got it. On an ancient threshing floor, farmers would crush the wheat and throw it up into the air. The heavy, valuable grain falls straight down.
But the chaff gets blown away.
Right, because it's just a dead, rootless casing. It's so lightweight that the slightest breeze takes it entirely away. It has zero agency.
Wow. Think about your own mental bandwidth right now. When you aren't intentionally putting your roots into something substantive, how easily are you blown away by, say, a single stressful email?
Or a negative news headline, yeah.
Exactly. Or even just a passing trend. That's the chaff effect. You become completely weightless and reactionary.
And being weightless logically leads to the final consequence of the text.
Yep.
Because chaff can't hold its ground, verses 5 and 6 state that the wicked will not stand in the judgment.
Nor join the congregation of the righteous, right?
Right.
So what does this all mean? There's this brilliant, ironic callback here.
The sitting versus standing.
Yes, the people who previously chose to sit down with the scoffers, getting so comfortable in their cynicism, now completely lack the foundational stability to actually stand when any real judgment or adversity comes.
It's a devastating irony. The progression from sitting in mockery to being blown away like chaff results in a total inability to endure.
Because the text concludes by saying, "The Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish."
Right, it's contrasting an enduring presence, being truly known and rooted, with total erasure.
It all comes back to that core visual. Are you living as an intentionally rooted tree, or are you just blown away chaff? It really forces you to examine your own environment.
And where you're choosing to plant yourself on a daily basis.
Which leaves us with a final question for you to explore on your own.
If our fast-paced modern society constantly acts like that threshing wind, relentlessly pushing you toward fleeting trends, endless scrolling, and constant distractions,
What are the modern streams of water you can deliberately plant yourself by to ensure your own leaves don't wither?